so much for joining in with us today. I'm Leah Rio with FCSS. I'm a program coordinator here for the community programs. And tonight we're going to be doing a cultured chef, beautiful ethnic dish. And I'd like to introduce you to our chef this evening. Vicky.
Yeah, my name is Ulrike. I'm original from Germany. And yeah, I want to introduce you to one of our favorite family dishes.
And can you say it slowly so we can hear you say it?
It's Koenigsberger Klopse, what means Koenigsberger meatballs.
Sounds wonderful.
Can be surprised.
Yeah, and you know, you're telling me a little bit more about the history behind the name of that dish. Can you tell us and the audience a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Koenigsberg was the name of the town original, but it changed into Kaliningrad, what is now Russian, but before it was occupied by Germans. So when our grandmother escaped this area, she came back to Germany and brought this nice Koenigsberger Klopse dish.
Oh my lord, how long ago was that?
That was in 1935.
Oh Lord, that's wonderful.
Yeah, but it's around way longer, but that was a traditional dish in their area. And it's easy to make because the ingredients are almost in every household, if not in a store like Co-ops.
Well, walk us through that. We see here we have a variety of stuff for the actual meal that we're going to be preparing. So tell us what we've got here.
We would need, should I measure right away?
Yeah, just
we show today for 4 good-sized portions. So we would use a pound ground pork, a pound ground beef. We lift it up with a little breadcrumbs, say 3/4 of a cup. My preference is to use some caraway for taste as a spice in the meat. So we need pepper, a teaspoon pepper, 1.5 teaspoon salt, 2 eggs, and some diced onions. I would say a 1/4 onion, diced in small pieces, and we mix all these ingredients up for the meatball dough.
Well, let's see you do it.
Once we do it, so we originally this recipe can be made with veal too, but my family is not a big veal fan.
Oh,
so
okay.
otherwise you can use any meat actually if it's not too dry and tough. So here we have I use the hands like at home, and we mix eggs in, you know, regular meatballs. We will boil them later, but you can use leftover meat if you think it's too much.
I can smell the caraway already.
Yeah, I prefer the grounded, grind. You can do that.
Do you need salt as well?
Pepper, salt, yes.
There you go.
Oh, we have to. So, and breadcrumbs, but I am a little careful. You will see.
Oh, this is the fun stuff where it gets nice and messy.
That is the fun stuff. You can use both hands. You can use one hand until the meat is nice mixed up. If it's too wet with the 2 eggs, you use another couple spoons. What I would do now, breadcrumbs, they are right here on the shelf. We just have to grab them. That is a convenience to have a supermarket in town. So, and now I use both hands, mix it nice up. I would say the breadcrumb amount in this case is enough. So 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup.
Nice.
And you can involve kids, or if you have a grandma in care at home, she might remember that.
We have a nice pan here that's not too shallow, kind of medium deep.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a deep pot.
Deep pot. And do you put oil in here?
No, we can start. We could.
We could.
I don't know how the induction oven works. Then there comes
Yeah.
Uh,
Is butter better
no,
to use?
we use butter.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that is
Perfect.
for the white sauce we make with meatballs. So now let's see what size of meatballs we make. And that is totally how everybody prefers it. I mentioned before, I have grandkids and they have a little competition at the table who eats the most. So you don't make some too big size. I make some sometimes just little ones and they help me in making them. And if that is too much, if you get too many, if you get 100, it's too much for a meal. So we would fry them up later, like nice fried meatballs.
Yeah.
So, but in this dish, I use some good golf ball size. Oh, the golfers
those
will
are
blame me.
beautiful.
That is too big. So I use this size. And you can get this recipe, even this dish in restaurants in Europe. And this would be the size of the meatball.
So tell me a little bit more about where you grew up.
I grew up around Berlin, a small town called Anhalt-Zerbst. Nobody knows this town, but it has a lot of history, 1500 years old. And
Would you like me to put the butter in there?
yes, if we want to do that already, then these meatballs, at first we should boil these meatballs in water. So we use, what did I say, 4 liter water
Yes.
approximately. We make all the meatballs, and when the water is simmering, we add the meatballs to the water. In the water, we boil some cut up onion. We used a quarter of the onion in the meatballs, so we use 3/4 or however in the water. Bay leaves, no soup or dish without bay leaves.
Yes, it tastes,
That's the way it
tastes
is.
better.
And pepper and salt. We know that. That goes in the water. So, and when we add these meatballs to the water, a nice broth will show up after 20 minutes boiling. Simmering, not a hard boil. If you boil meat hard, it will foam. And nobody likes the foam in the dish.
Wonderful.
So we simmer it. In the beginning it will boil. We add the meatballs, bring it to a simmer with the onion and the bay leaves, and it will simmer for half an hour. And then you can let it go, and we work on the white sauce.
Okay, so it looks like the meatballs are all done boiling now. So what do we do next?
Yes, so we added the meatballs, gave it a simmer for half an hour. Now the broth is in with the meatballs and the bay leaf and whatnot. And now we start the white sauce. Counts already. So for this, we use, I would say, a quarter stick of butter, like the, see, 200 grams. If you are used to grams, 200 of them.
About 1/4 of a cup?
A quarter of a block.
A block? Okay.
Butter, okay?
Butter makes it taste better too.
Yeah. And we add, when this is melted, you know, we will add the flour.
And that's about a cup of flour?
It's a cup of flour. And we have to give it a whisk, and with a white roll, how it's called here, we have to make sure it doesn't brown, because we want to have a white sauce.
So it's probably between medium and low heat then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not on big heat.
Yeah.
See, and then and I go by side. I think I give a little more butter and a little more flour, so it's approximately a cup. I just don't want to.
So you told us some wonderful information about the dish's background and history.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you moved to Canada.
Yeah, we moved in the year 2002 to Canada, and yeah, it was more, we were looking for a challenge. Like in Germany, everything is easy, everything is, we just go with the flow, and I always like the times that we have some challenges to experience new things, to not adjust right away, to see some things going on you have to work on, to bring your horizon a little higher and see that different parts of the world have different things to live. And
How's that been going? How have you found it?
oh gosh, we got challenges more than we needed.
Yeah.
We moved to BC and I run a bed and breakfast. My husband
wow.
worked in a seniors home. So we built up our life pretty nice, close to a lake, and it was nice. So just one thing in between, you see the butter and the flour has to foam because the flour has to extend. If you do it too fast, it doesn't work. The foam is the ripening of the flour to give a nice sauce in the end, right? So, and actually I should have used everything. I was a little shy in the measurements, but we need it.
I think you know what you're doing.
So-
It looks fabulous.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So we're in BC, bed and breakfast, and
yeah,
yeah.
So talk about the challenge. Was it the next or?
Yeah, so that's, the challenge. It sounds like you've risen above that, but tell us about a fun thing that's happened to you since you've moved here.
First thing, a family needs a TV, right? So we went to the store. Our neighbor was the owner of a hardware store and he delivered the TV. How nice. And we plugged it in and we waited and short after I knocked on the door, neighbor's door, and said, you have to take the TV back, it doesn't work. So his son was so nice to come over and he was for hours and hours on a 1-800 number
Oh
to get us connected. And he asked 100 questions. Name, when are you born? And I said, what in the world is going on here? Yeah, but finally we got the TV running and that was, everybody asked what is so special when you move to Canada. But I think it doesn't matter where you move, the culture shock. They asked what is a culture shock? I said, I don't know, you have to live through it. Everything is different. I see it's a totally different system somehow. Here I have the feeling that you have to go and see that you get what you want.
Yeah,
Nothing is automatically, everything has to be earned somehow. That's
Yes.
what the impression I had back then.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah,
So for dinners that you have for
Make-
holidays,
make it a little higher.
do you do traditional dishes still from home here?
The regular things like we have a little in Europe. I think it's a little different already around the Christmas time. We don't have our turkeys are chicken size, but we have rabbits.
Rabbits.
Sorry, but that's the way there. Ask European
Yeah.
original people from Europe, and they will tell you. Yeah, so that, and then we like the schnitzel.
Yes.
To make schnitzel here would be nice too, and everybody likes schnitzel.
Well,
So far. Next time maybe. And yeah, so somehow it doesn't foam enough, but I can let it sit and
it's
bring it to
starting to.
another foam.
yeah.
At home you have the right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and to bring out the sauce now, we would use the broth and fill it up. And here are still some onions swimming in, like big pieces,
Nice.
but
Smells
that is
wonderful.
okay. We are not picky. See, it works. And whisking if you have a nice whisk. And see, it's a little lumpy in the beginning, but we have this nice little whisk, and we will go ahead and do it.
So tell me
So-
about shopping. Do you remember memories when you were little going shopping with your mom or your grandma?
Yeah, shopping.
Maybe Oma and Opa?
Oma and Opa, and everybody worked, so
Yeah.
our Oma took care of us mainly, but was nice, and that is where we sneaked in the kitchen. Not just sneaked, we had to be in the kitchen and learn to do certain simple things.
And how many children were in your family?
We were four.
Four.
My husband's family were four.
Yeah.
So that are all the baby boomers now everybody talks about.
Yes.
And yeah, so see, it comes together and it will be as much sauce as you want, and you have to make just sure you fill up until the consistency is reached you like.
And about a
With
medium heat still?
Medium, yeah.
Nice. It's boiling.
Maybe a little down.
Down.
2, 3.
Okay.
So, here's something, the first meatball in
Oh,
already.
it smells wonderful.
You know what? We just let the meatball jump in. That is good. And see, here's a little piece of onion
in
now.
there.
People might not like it, but
I think it adds to
we
it.
eat it. Yeah, it's in the dish and it has to be eaten. So it's still a little thick for
And you know, the broth looks really lean too. It does.
It's not too fat.
No.
But our grandma always said when it was not so fat, more ice look in than out, because the fat is called ice. Why ever? So this is a nice white,
It looks wonderful.
and it smells good,
Yes.
like a meaty sauce, nice and creamy. The new generation, they like to use, instead just water broth, they use cream. But I said no cream anymore, because it's original with the broth. What is totally enough.
That's
The butter gives. So now, let's fill up some more meat. No, I would do it the other way.
Capers? Okay.
Did we have a spoon salt in here? And let me see.
No, we have to put salt in still. And I think
We have to be careful with the salt.
Yes.
We might work on the recipe a little later and adjust something, because here is salt and pepper in. So if you use the salty broth and the salty butter and you add more salt, not good.
so it's good to taste test it.
Taste it for just a finger. But what I like to add, little white pepper. But be careful, white pepper is very spicy. So you don't need as much as if you would use black pepper. See, and even color doesn't change because of the white pepper. So now the secret ingredients. Andrea asked me, do we need those? Yes, they are the main thing in the dish.
What is that?
It's capers.
Oh, beautiful.
They are not little animals. What my grandson said, are that animals? I said, no, that are seeds from a certain flower, and I make my own capers at home.
Beautiful.
That is another story. Okay, so see, now the capers, they come in a jar, and you add the whole jar to the white sauce.
And the juice too.
Now it's a white caper sauce.
Beautiful.
The capers are very intense, like it's a pickled liquid. So mainly vinegar and salt and those seeds. And now we are almost done. We dump in the meatballs. So I calculated 3 of these big giant meatballs per person. I would eat only 2.
Yeah. big.
And see,
How many would your kids eat when you serve this for them?
2 for sure.
2 for sure.
And they are around 10.
Okay.
You know, and my husband would eat 3,
Yeah.
and I eat a couple, and here are those bay leaves. But most people know them.
Yeah.
They are added to soup or,
And do your children eat this as well? Did you show them how to make this?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
I said today for the show we will serve it with rice. It depends whatever your preference is. But my son said, no mom, original is boiled potatoes.
Boiled potatoes.
And that is something, maybe you ask me what I'm missing from back home. We miss good bread, and we miss the boiled potatoes. There is no place in Canada where you get a dish with boiled potatoes. They are baked, fried, cut up in.
That's really true.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in this generation doesn't know even how a potato tastes, a plain potato. But we will show you, we will put everything together. So now you will taste it. We didn't use a spoon. So
Okay.
if you want to whisk a little, just give it a taste. Yeah, can be, be careful, it's hot.
Thank you.
And
Oh my goodness gracious, it is just wonderful.
is it?
It is very good.
Voila. And it was not hard to do. You can boil the meatballs a night before. Usually Canadians eat warm for lunch, right? For dinner. Yeah. And we eat it for lunch.
I just think any time of
So,
the day would be
but
good.
you can have the meatballs ready,
Yeah.
whisk everything together the next day. So you don't have to stay an hour. You 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there. Okay? And like I said, with the potatoes, and our Oma always served this. Oma Natalie, she's gone long time. She serves this with carrot slaw, what I prepared already, and I can explain how to make it. It's easy, and you can serve also pickled red beets,
Nice.
or whatever. I always like to serve a dish with colors. So this looks pretty plain. The potatoes might be yellow-white, so I serve a little orange carrot slaw with it. And then you mix it up, the sweetness of the slaw, and this, perfect.
Perfect.